Hi, everyone. Welcome to the very first start of our 8-week semester. This is an 8-week class, and so it is very quick. The same information that you would be expected to complete in a 16-week course, you'll have that same expectation for this 8 weeks. So I wanted to kind of go over a little bit of the organization of this term, and then we'll get into week 1A. So all new announcements will be found in this announcement tab. It should just go there automatically when you open up Blackboard. You'll want to make sure that you have that 007W, and this is an online class. And then faculty information, you can find the syllabus and the schedule here. I highly recommend going through and reviewing everything. This information right here, these are going to be our larger assignments that you'll complete. So the McGraw-Hill text, this should take you to our online book, and you can complete the readings there. They're also embedded in each week, so you can just access them through each week's folder. We have two major projects that I was talking about in my overview video. We have the behavior change project and then the ethics and health and wellness. Again, you can always click here to find what the next step is that you're on, or they are embedded in each week's folder. Unit exams, we'll have 4 over the course of this 8 weeks, and then there's an optional cumulative exam that you can take. We don't have a final in this course, but if you get a lower score on an exam, you can have the option to take that cumulative one at the end, and if you get a higher grade, it would replace the lowest unit exam score. Okay, so each week is broken into 2 sections. So as you can see, we've got weeks 1 through 8, and each one has an A and a B. Because we have to move so quickly, 1A, all of the information in any A folder is going to be due on that Thursday. So for instance, this week we have the class begins on March 13th, Monday. All of the information in the folder for week 1A is going to be due on Thursday, which is March 16th. So then the following B is due on the Sunday. So this one will be due on the 19th. So I do that to encourage people to stay on top of things. You obviously can do it earlier. The B folder, while it's due on Sunday, they'll be open for the entire week, so you can access it, as early as Tuesday if you get everything complete for week 1A on that Tuesday. They do run in order, so you will need to complete the items in the A folder prior to the items in the B folder. So you will be able to have access to each one. You'll have access to both of them at the start of each week. So let's go ahead and take a look at week 1A. All right, so what you'll have to do is everything that you have for that folder is going to be listed in this to do right up at the top, and it will give an estimated time. These are not necessarily going to be accurate for every person, depending on learning style and how quickly you go through the information. But this is just an estimated time of how long it will take you to complete most things. So you can find the entire list of what your assignments are. It is pretty work heavy in the beginning, and then it will get a little less of the amount of things that you have to turn in as the semester goes on. So week one announcement will be here. So I will, because there's two different folders, I will be splitting them up into obviously week 1A announcement and week 1B announcement. So that way you get a sense of what's due for that folder. So I recommend reading this article. 10 to 15 minutes should take you to read it. The Blackboard introduction folder, so it'll go through how to write a professional email, information on Microsoft Office suites, and then you'll also have your information literacy assignment in this folder. Some classes, I think English 101, does have you do that as part of their curriculum as well. So if you've already completed the badges, you would just turn those in. You don't have to do them again. So that will be the Blackboard introduction. This self, family, and community, this is chapter 1. So this is where we start with our book. So you're always going to read the chapter. It's through the Smart Book. So there will be questions just to capture how much you are retaining and the knowledge that you're gaining from the reading. You'll have a quiz and a lab. Most weeks you will have the Smart Book and the quiz. Most often you'll have a lab. There's a few where you don't, a few weeks where you don't have a lab. And then you'll go through all of this information. Those assignments can be found in this tab. And then finally, class introductions. So this is a discussion board post. Complete all of these questions, and then you'll need to reply to at least 4 people. So this is just to get you started. There's some additional group work and interactions that we have as we go throughout the semester. So this is just to get those conversations started. And then most importantly, and this one can be the most time consuming, is completing the behavior change setup step 1, the SMART goals case study, and setup step 2. So I'll show you in here. So if you click in there, this states what our behavior change project is going to be. And so you'll go through and complete step 1. What needs to happen is I have to grade this before you have access to SMART Goals case study and the step 2. So you need a perfect score on step 1. It's not hard to do. You just have to be very thorough in your answers. So this is a survey that you'll take, and you will have to achieve a perfect score on this in order to move on to the next step. You will have the option to redo this as many times as you need to, but I do have to grade them. So in the first few days, so you have 1, 2, 3 things to do for the behavior change. And so what will happen is you will complete step 1. I will be reviewing probably about 4 to 5 times a day for the first few days, and grading as I get these in, just because I know how important it is to complete these quickly. So once you've got your perfect score on step 1, then you can do the SMART Goals case study and complete setup step 2. So these ones don't require me to grade them before you move on to the next step. So it's just this first step 1 that has that you need to get 100% on that requirement. So once you do that, and go through the case study and the step 2, I still grade those and provide feedback, which that impacts your next steps in the future. So in week 1B, which I'll be reviewing in the next video, you'll have to review that information in order to, gain a higher score, because I may ask additional questions, or I might ask that you complete a SMART goal in a different way. The SMART goals are very important, and a lot of times this is where students miss points, because the goal that they establish and what they say they're planning to do is not actually a SMART goal. Okay. So that's a lot of information and a lot that you need to do for the first 4 days. So all of these items are due on Thursday. So you'll want to get started early and complete them. I would suggest not waiting on the behavior change setup step one until, Thursday morning, because this requires me to grade it prior to moving on. Okay, I welcome any questions and good luck. It moves quickly. So make sure that if you have any questions about things that you're reaching out to me early in the week. Okay, thank you.